Good evening, family. This is Lone Wolf Firearms Training. Welcome to the program. I am your host, Juan J. Johnson, coming at you live on this 28th day of September 2023. I'm looking forward to having a great program on today. Again, I want to keep it interactive. I need you to make some comments in the comment section. We're going to talk about gun laws today, especially in that great state of Maryland. Things are changing the next couple of days. I want to get ahead of the curve with those who are either gun owners or those who are talking about moving to Maryland and becoming Maryland residents, or just you just want to just check out a gun conversation. Um, Again, I think gun conversation need to be standard. Standard. I think gun conversation be an everyday conversation, family. So we can't treat gun conversation like dessert. It's not an option no more. Your gun conversation should be your entree, not your appetizer. It should be an entree, meaning at every opportunity, whether it's breakfast, you talk about guns. Lunch, you talk about guns. Dinner, you need to be talking about some guns. So let me just make sure that we are on every platform. We're going to make sure that we are live on these platforms. Again, social media. Some of these social media platforms have a unique way of limiting your audience. And I'm just going to see, like I said, there it is. We're going to make sure that we are doing what needs to be done, that we're broadcasting on every platform we can with no interruptions, none. Okay. I need you to I need you to go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com for your firearms needs. If you're in need of a wear and carry or concealed carry, if you need a renewal on your HQL, which is a handgun qualification license, if you need a renewal on your wear and carry, go to lwftraining.com. If you want to go somewhere else too. I just want you to become responsible gun owners and gun users. Okay. If you no longer want your weapons and you don't want your guns no more, I don't want you to call the police. I don't want you to take part in no gun buyback from no church or no police station. You need to contact the company or any gun company and let them take your guns. Don't give your guns to the police, nor to these preachers out here. Okay, I am against all I'm against all gun buybacks of any sort. Okay, and also look here, family. When I do these videos now, I'm seeing that my volume is being distorted from social media. Uh, Again, this is not your typical conversation. This is just not a typical conversation where somebody's going to come on every day talking about God and guns and what you need to do. Again, I see myself as reintroducing to the collective about being responsible gun owners, gun users. It's always been here. I'm just trying to reintroduce us to this conversation that we need to have every day about becoming responsible gun owners and gun users. Okay, so with that said, um, go to lwftraining.com, LWF Training for your gun needs. If you want the intro to basic firearms, just get familiar with the guns, know the parts of the gun, be able to identify the gun parts when you see them, know how to make the gun safe, whether it's a semi-automatic handgun or revolver. Um, how to clean the gun and how to properly transport the gun. Go to lwftraining.com, go to Fire Me Perfect, go to Safety First. It's quite a few folks out here you can go to. Again, I'm not the only one, but again, I'm the one who's sounding the alarm, trying to get you wherever you are, whether you're in Maine or whether you're in California. I want you to become responsible gun owners, gun users. Period. Okay. Period. That's what I want. And it's your right. As a matter of fact, let me remind some of you, just in case you forgot, it is your Second Amendment right. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Basically, all it's saying is this: you have a right to bear arms, and the government cannot infringe on your right to bear arms. Okay? You have a right to bear arms. The Second Amendment is not a suggestion, it's a right to the people of these United States of America. And I'm going to encourage you to exercise your right to bear arms. Again, this is a reintroduction. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are 430 million legal guns in America. 430 million legal guns, okay? And it's only 330 million Americans. We have more guns than Americans, citizens, okay? So the guns are not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. So embrace your Second Amendment right to bear arms. And in the process of embracing it, know this. Know this. Let me show this. Let me show you this. Let me know this. The God Himself sanctions you to have a gun. Now, you all know that I am a follower of the revolutionary Jesus the Christ. I am unapologetic a follower of his teachings. Okay? And I'm just posting to you that the scripture that he says to his followers in Luke 22:36. He said to them, but now you have a purse, you take it. Now you got some money, you built up, take it. And also your bag, get your clothes. Okay? So don't just take your purse, take your bag. And if you don't have a sword, I need you to sell your coat. I need you to pawn your coat and buy one. So for all those who would have that little question, WWGD, what would Jesus say? What would Jesus do? I'm quoting to you Luke 22:36. Most of your pastors ain't going to touch that scripture because, again, their self-preservation switch has been deactivated. Mine is activated, and I'm trying to reactivate your self-preservation switch. Okay. So again, so somebody was to ask you, it's not a godly thing to do. It's not a Christian thing to do. The righteous don't have to carry guns. If we just hold our peace and we're gonna let God fight our battle, fine, you can do that. For those who take that approach, that is your approach you can take. But when things get heavy and you may have to defend yourself, your wife, your children, your community, your city, the county, the state, or the nation, I'm hoping that you are ready to be at well-regulated militia, which is no more than citizens who are not in no type of military. The citizens, a well-regulated citizen army at the behest of the governors who are willing to protect the county, the city. I'm here. And this nosy Siri. Every time Siri hears something closer, he said something. I can't make this up. Again, you have a right to bear arms. Protect yourself. And the government cannot infringe on your right to bear arms. Okay? And let me just say this also, because it's not just your right to bear arms, but I want to give you the First Amendment. So we're very clear, because we don't really talk about amendments. But the First Amendment provides that the Constitution make no law prohibiting the free exercise of religion, the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the freedom of assembly, and the right to petition the government for grievances. And if you look at the news recently these days, if you're paying any attention to the news, family, you're seeing that our rights are being, our rights right now are being challenged. Freedom of speech is, they are eroding freedom of speech every day, especially in these social media spaces and places where if you post something that doesn't go with their guidelines or their platform or their allegiance to any party, then they will limit your audience. They will take down your channel. Okay, that's why the Second Amendment is important. Also, it deals with the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press to be able to speak on issues and circumstances that deal with our government over just people who's out of order. You do not want to lose the press. You do not want to lose your speech. You do not want to surrender your freedom of religion. You do not want to lose your freedom to assemble. Okay, when we talk about assemble, we talking about going to church in groups, protesting, your freedom to assemble. Okay, and you do not want to give up your right to petition the government for grievances. Okay, so again, the importance of the Second Amendment is because the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. And again, I'll say to you again, when I say guns, I'm talking about something far deeper than guns. I'm talking about that Army, that Navy, that Air Force, that Marines, those Coast Guards, those National Guards, every organization or every military service unit that's put together to protect your rights that you are practicing freely right now. There's somebody right now with an M16 or M203 grenade launcher or on some type of battleship or some F-16, okay, or some type of submarine. There's somebody right now manning those weapons of war so that you and I can have this conversation, so that you and I can have this freedom of speech that we so cherish, that you and I can have this freedom of religion that we exercise, so that you and I can have this freedom of assembly that we do, that we don't take advantage, that we just should not take for granted. That you and I can have this right to petition the government when they're not doing right by us, when they are out of order, when they are trying to take away our freedoms. This is so much deeper than just having a gun, family. So much deeper than having a gun. This is about, again, reintroducing back to the collective responsible gun ownership. That if you have to defend yourself and your family and your community, and you just may have to defend against foreign enemies as well. And if you're taking the temperature of what's going on in America, I have never seen the hostility towards one another as I've seen in this last couple of years. Haven't seen it, family. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. I'm talking about people are ready to fight each other. And it starts with my white brother and my white sister. I mean, the hostility, the anger, they're triggered over words. They are triggered over words, family. A word like Biden, a word like Trump, a word like MAGA, a word like Bidenomics. They're triggered over words, family. You're not supposed to be triggered over a word. You're supposed to be triggered over truth. Over truth. Okay. So again, I need you to become responsible gun owners, gun users for your own protection. And as I mentioned on the last broadcast, we're getting people, floods of people coming in our borders who are being unchecked, and they're bringing their values or their non-values. They're bringing their culture or their non-culture. They're bringing their traditions or their non-traditions, and they're bringing their survival mentality to this nation. And they're bringing some diseases too. If you're not checking people, you don't know what they're bringing in here. And some of these people that are coming across these borders, they are sleeper cells families, sleepers. Okay. So we're not living in the 60s and the 70s no more. We're not living in the 80s. This is not the 90s. This is the 2000s. And we have to think different. We got to become responsible and know that there are people in our neighborhoods that we don't know, we've never seen before, we can't recognize. But guess what? Our children are coming up missing. Okay? So I need you. I implore you to become responsible gun owners and gun users, not tomorrow. I mean, right now. Change your mind right now and say to yourself, you know what? I'm seeing what's going on out here, and I don't like what I see. And I need to protect myself and my loved ones and my family and my friends. And I may have to protect the city or the state. Because guess what? If and when we go to war, when a foreign entity decides to declare war on America, then they declare war on all of America, all of Americans. And when they come, they're not going to ask you, are you saved? Are you sanctified? Are you Holy Ghost filled? Are you fire baptized? Or are you just running for the Lord? They're going to say, there is one. There's American. What is it? How would they know you're American? Because when you open your mouth, you know what you sound like. I can go anywhere in the world, and I may look like I'm Jamaican. I may look like I may be having some African features and all that. But when I open my mouth, they automatically know, oh, he's American. Oh, he's American. He's American. She's American. You look here, people you work with, they can try to blend in and act like that they are homegrown per se. But once a person opened up their mouths and they start to talking, you know off the back, that's somebody else. That's something else. And I'm gonna deal with that topic too. I'm gonna deal with that. Cultural pride, because that's what's missing too. Okay, but I'm not going to keep it long. Again, I just want to bring that out and deal with some of these laws that's about to go down in the great state next couple of days, because I want you to be aware that things are about to change dramatically, and our gun laws or our gun rights are under attack. Again, I don't want you to forget when Russia invaded the Ukraine. I lost connection on Twitter. See, that's some bull crap right there. I don't want you to forget when Russia invaded the Ukraine. The Ukraine government had to empower the citizens. They had to arm the citizens with guns. Everybody who could fight was given a gun to fight. And what's ironic is this, that the same elected officials that gave those guns to the Ukraine, right, are the same ones that are trying to disarm you. I find it interesting that the same government that pushed for the Ukrainians to arm their citizens, right, are the very government who's trying to disarm you, us. That's a contradiction. That's one of the biggest contradictions if I've ever seen one. That's a contradiction right there. So, with that said, again, I need you to go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com and sign up. There is a class on tomorrow. It is not full yet. It's going to be a virtual class from 9 to 5. Okay. Then that Saturday, we get together from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, and we will do hands on cleaning the guns, reassembling the guns, disassembling the guns, going over some cover and concealment. We'll go over holstering. We'll go over marksmanship. That first day, it's just a lot of information that must be gone over. You won't even touch a gun that first day. But that second day, all hands on guns. All hands on guns. And we go to the range to do some shooting. So it's going to be a next couple days. It's going to be very good, very interesting. If you're still interested, go to lwftraining.com, sign up. I will send you the link for the class on the time it starts, and have your paper and your pen, and you're able to take some notes. There is a test. There's two tests. There's a written test, and there is a shooting test that you're going to have to take, because we need to make sure that you know what you're doing out here. So when you decide to pull that gun and stop that threat, you're going to know what you're doing. Okay? So with that said, let's get right into the topic. Again, let's get into this topic. We're gonna go over we're gonna go over just a few things. I'm not gonna hold you long, but I just want to go over a few things with you that you need to be made aware of as we approach October 1st, which is on Sunday. It's on Sunday. Okay. So with that said, again, if you are not a resident of Maryland, it's okay. Because a lot of these handgun laws are still universal in their, I wouldn't say in their application. You know what I'm saying? So from state to state, they vary in wording, but most of it is still the same. It's still the same. Okay. So let's deal with this. Maryland. Let's deal with it here. And those who are moving to the great state of Maryland. If you're moving here, you need to know what's going on. Okay. So look at a person who wants to own a firearm in the state of Maryland. They must submit a firearm application before he or she purchases, rents, transfers a regulated firearm. Say that again. If you're in the great state of Maryland, you need to submit an application to become a responsible gun owner, gun user, before you can even purchase a gun, rent, or transfer. Okay? A person shall have a permit issued under the subtitle wears or transports a handgun. Okay? Basically, you got to have a permit in your possession if you're going to travel, if you're going to carry, if you're going to transport a gun. Okay? If you want to buy a gun, you must have a HQL, which is a handgun qualification license, which allows you to purchase a handgun, a revolver, a semi-automatic in the state of Maryland. But I will say this, that does not hold true for the shotguns and the rifles. You can purchase a shotgun and rifle. Okay. But for handguns, they're a little more strict with the handguns. Okay. So just be mindful of that. All right. Let me go here. Where my board at? Where my board at? Where my board? Give me a second, family. Give me a second. Give me a second. Looking for my. Did I close my thing out? Let me see right here. Why my screen done disappeared on me? I want to do a shout out for those who's watching. I see you. Carissa Spence in the house. I see you. Dr. McIntyre's in the house. I see you. Pastor Pastor Wilkins is in the house. I see you. Okay. I see you all. Also, come October 1st, the age that you can have a gun is going from 18 to 21. Right now it's 18. If you have an 18-year-old right now and they want to possess a firearm, they want to buy one, this is the time to get them in the class before October 1st. Because when October 1st hit at midnight, boom, it goes to 21. It goes to 21. Unless you are in the military. Okay. Other than that, 21 years old. Okay. Also, you can never have been convicted of a disqualifying crime. Okay. What is a disqualifying crime? I'm glad you asked me. A felony. Felons cannot have firearms. Okay. Felons never have been convicted of a common law crime and received a prison term of more than 2 years. Say it again, more than 2 years. You can't be a fugitive from justice. Okay. You can't be someone who has been a habitual drunkard, someone who's been convicted at least twice for some type of alcohol consumption. We're talking about a conviction. We're not talking about you hanging out with your boys or your girls and you know who's the drunk in the crew. We're talking about someone who's been actually captured, who's been caught, convicted, gone to jail, they did some time. Those are the ones that we're talking about. Okay? Okay? You can't be a drug addict. We're talking about convicted. I know that some of us know some folks who are drug addicts and they haven't been caught yet. I'm talking about legally those who have not been convicted. Okay? You have never spent more than 30 days in a mental institution, whether you was voluntary or you was ordered. You cannot spend more than 30 days in a mental institution, family. Okay? You are disqualified. You are disqualified from having a gun. So if you know somebody who's been mentally institutionalized for 30 days or more, they are disqualified from having the gun. You can't get the permit. You can't even have ammo. Okay? Can't handle ammo. And family, listen to me. I don't want y'all to get to no trick bag. I don't want you to get no trick bag with these guns and ammo. Because I don't think a lot of us have counted up the cost, what it's going to cost you to get out of jail. What it's going to cost you if you're out here riding dirty. You do not want to ride dirty. You don't want to be in a situation where, you know what, I know I got this gun on me, and I know I shouldn't have it, but I got to protect myself. Okay, let me suggest to you that you may want to take some karate, some taekwondo, some kung fu, some jujitsu. Okay, you may want to get some mace, some OC spray. Okay, you may want to get you some OC spray. You know, so you can scream inside the eye, buy you some time. But you don't need to be out here, family, and you know you not legit. You don't want to be out here with a gun and you're not supposed to have it. And when they catch you, you're done. You're going to jail. You're going to jail like Monopoly. You won't be able to pass go. You won't be paying no $200. Your bond gonna be up to maybe $1,000, okay, or more. Depending on if it's your first time. If it's your first time, it's gonna probably be a misdemeanor. But your second time, oh, they throwing a book at you. Throwing a book at you. Okay? Throwing the book at you, family. So I need you to be mindful of that. Be very mindful. Let me see something. Let me see. Dr. McIntyre said, what a shotgun in the house? I don't understand the question. You said, oh, what about a shotgun in the house? So a shotgun in the house, I have a shotgun in the house is still, I'm for all the guns, whether you got a shotgun in the house or a rifle in the house, a M16 in the house, I'm for all the guns in your house. But I will say this, that a shotgun to me for the house, I don't know if that's a good, I don't think that's a good weapon for the house, the shotgun. Because again, always, you have to always take into consideration this. When you're on the range or when you're outside, let's say outside, the air, you said shotgun legally? Yeah, well, shotgun is legal. Yeah, yeah. If a person is legal, they can have a shotgun. If the person is legal, they can have a rifle. If they're legal, yeah. If they're not legal, that remains to be seen. And I know we have couples out here who one couple was legal and the other half not legal. Okay, and that's let me say something to you. That's a gray area. But if you have to defend your family and you're not legal, and listen to me, if you're not legal and your spouse is the one who legally has that gun for the household, and they are the ones who are responsible for securing the gun, for storing the gun, and making sure nobody has access to the gun, even for your illegal self, those folks who are illegal, who can't have the gun. I'll say this. We do have court cases where there was a spouse who was defending the family from serious bodily injury or death, and they protected the family. Okay. They went to court. Okay. And they were not found guilty. But let me say something to you. That's a gray area because your ducks have to be lined up, and you got to be able to articulate that you had to use deadly force, that you did not, watch this, that you did everything you could to de-escalate the situation. Okay? Because once you shoot that round and you know that you're not legal, you're going to jail. You're going to jail just on GP, general principle, because you were not supposed to have a gun in your possession. Okay? And you're going to have the courts deal with that, or the attorney will determine whether or not they're going to file against you. It depends on what it will depend on what U.S. attorney is going to be handling the case and decide, do I want to prosecute this spouse for defending their family? Okay? For defending their family from somebody who's trying to harm or hurt or endanger that family. Okay? I hope I answered your question. Boy, I tell you, Doctor got these questions. That's all right. Is God in agreement with guns? Absolutely. I don't even flinch on that. Is God is in, watch this. If God, man, God is so much in agreement with guns that you don't even have these liberties you talk. We don't have this conversation without guns. We're not having this conversation without the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines standing on the front line protecting our freedoms. Yes, God is in. Yes, God is 100% in line with the guns. As we read on our money, in God we trust. Okay. In our songs, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is God in agreement with guns? Yes. Again, I say guns because you mentally see a gun when I say guns. If I say God and weapons, man, that could have been a rock or a stick. That's a wide definition. We say weapons. A weapon is a pencil used. A twig can be a weapon. David had a rock used to knock out Goliath. He had 5 smooth stones. You know why? Because Goliath had some brothers. So to answer your question, is God in agreement with guns? Yes, because God was in agreement with David when he had those 5 smooth stones and he bust upside the head Goliath. And I mean that. So yeah. Yeah. Watch this. Is God in agreement with guns? Yeah. When God told Joshua, look here, I need you to take everything, destroy everything. You got to knock out the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Hittites, all of them. They didn't have no guns, but they had what? What they had? They had weapons. Yes. And I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go back to Genesis first, Genesis 1:28. And God told man to rule, to dominate, to have dominion over the fish, the fowls, the cattle, the creepers, everything. Okay. He said, subdue it. And I keep telling or reminding my brothers and sisters that when you subdue anything, that means bring under you. You subdue it. You bring it under you. And not just subdue it. You must expect resistance. Don't think that the animal kingdom was just going to just sit back and say, okay, I'm here, Adam, you can kill me now, or whoever. I'm here. You can dominate me. No. So I hope that answers your question. Is God in agreement with guns? Absolutely, positively. If I didn't think God was in agreement with guns, I wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't even put myself out here like this. Okay. Was God in agreement with the Digging for Defense when they had to come up against the KKK in the 60s? Huh? Hmm? Was God in agreement with the Black Panther Party? Uh-huh. Hmm. Was God in agreement with Harriet Tubman on the Underground Railroad, telling the people, look here, ain't no turning back? Was God in agreement with Ida B. Wells with her guns? And she said every man, every family should have 2 guns, 2 Winchesters in their house, just in case. Okay. So yes, I do believe that God is in agreement with the guns and the weapons. The doctor has another question. Come on, Doc, bring him up. Matter of fact, why don't you come on board, Doc? I'm gonna send you the link and we can have this conversation, Doctor. Since God is the giver of life, when do we have permission to take life? Just asking for a friend. I'm glad you answered that question. So watch this. As a man, we understand what our role in the earth is. We protect, number one. That's why I said earlier, I believe with everything in me that the protection switch has been deactivated in a certain group of people. Because everybody else I come across of other ethnicities know that you got to fight and protect what's yours. But you asked the question, I'm gonna answer your question. Since God is the giver of life, yes, I come that you may have life and life more abundantly. I'm on board with that. But guess what? There's some folks out here who come to destroy. There's some folks out here who don't subscribe to your God. There's some folks out here who don't even believe in God. There's some people who was born for war. If you're born for war, then God has to raise up somebody to counter your warfare, your war tactic. So since God is the giver of life, yes, he is. When do we have permission to take life? When my life
is in danger, when my family is in danger, when my community is in danger, when my county is in danger, when my state is in danger, when my nation is in danger, I am given the permission to whoop that ass. And I mean that with all the whoop asses I can say. As Stone Cold would say, give me a hell yeah. Yes. We take that life. I don't teach, I don't train, I don't suggest anybody who comes along with firearms that you shoot for no legs or no arms, no feet, no knees. You shoot for the biggest part of the body. Why? It's where most of the organs are. Okay? And it takes more skill, it takes a little bit more skill to shoot an arm or a leg. Why even go for an arm or a leg when you can go for all this chest and that head? So yes, you take that life. Just asking for a friend. I hope I answered your question, and tell your friend. I said, thanks for submitting the question. Got another question. Okay. Dr. McIntyre, I say we come on board, brother. I say you come on board with this. We're going to stop all this. Christ was in danger on the cross, but he didn't use force. That was Christ. He had a mission. That was Christ. He came to die for the sins of the world. Okay? He could have called on legions. He didn't do it. He had his mission, and I have my mission. You have your mission. You are a peacemaker. I'm a peacekeeper. The two are not the same. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they are the children of God. Most ministers are peacemakers. I'm a peacekeeper. I carry the sword. I teach you how to defend yourself. I'm unapologetic in teaching you how to defend yourself because I want you to be able to weather that battle or to weather that confrontation and come out alive. Now, you may be scarred mentally from maybe possibly having to take a person's life, but you'll be alive. Your family will be alive. Your wife, your girlfriend, your children, your auntie, your cousins, because again, you may have to defend your friends and your family against foreign and domestic enemies. Again, as you said, Christ was in danger on the cross, but he didn't use force. He didn't have to use force. He could have. Okay. He had a mission. I got a mission. We all got a mission. Matter of fact, the scripture says, let everybody be fully persuaded in their mind what they need to do. Okay. I just need you I need my people who are listening to me, those who I know are wolves. I'm talking to wolves right now. Because I'm a wolf. I'm gonna be Lord of the Wolves. Okay. The Wolf King. Okay. Because for me, I want you to be able to protect yourself against foreign and domestic enemies. See, watch this. I just think we have this fantasy in our heads that we don't have no enemies. I don't live like that. I don't even think like that. America has enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay? We have enemies. Some of us can't wrap our minds around the idea that they have an enemy out there because they love everybody. I love you. I love everybody too, to a degree. I follow peace with all men. But if you try to get in my way and you try to harm me intentionally, I'm not talking about accidentally, but intentionally you're trying to harm me and my family, that my self-preservation switch has not been deactivated. I'm going to stop the threat mode. I haven't put my almost 3 decades of protecting and serving on the shelf and look at it as a trophy, like I did it. No, I haven't did that. I'm still in the thick of it Because my thing now is all that I've been taught, I need to share it with you. I need to share it with those who want the knowledge of what it is like to be in law enforcement, how they think, how they process. Okay. And again, I've got the videos. Go to my Real Talk channel. I didn't spare no police officers who was out of order, who was wrong, who've been killing people, killing our folks with impunity and immunity just by saying these magical words, I fear for my life. It's like I get out of jail card. If you know how to use it. So no, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, family. And I'm not trying to sell you no wolf tickets, although I'm a wolf. I'm not trying to say no wolf tickets. I became a responsible gun.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope that you can hear me. I am back. Let me tell y'all something. My feed is being interrupted because I'm trying to tell y'all some truth. That's the only reason why the feed is interrupted. But it's okay. We're gonna press through this. We're gonna press through this because you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this work. You're gonna get this information. Okay? You're gonna get it. Watch this. If I was saying some old ratchet stuff, talking about today's gossip, this feed would not be interrupted. But because I'm telling you something serious, because again, serious-minded people do serious things. I'm serious about this. This feed be interrupted all the time. A man, not just a man, but an intelligent, smooth looking, and professional to you. And that right there is a threat. My feeds don't be getting, look here, my feeds don't be getting interrupted like this. But it's okay. I'm not gonna focus on it. We're gonna just keep on going. I'm gonna keep on going. I hope I answered your question, Dr. McIntyre. Christ was in danger on the cross, but he didn't use force. I answered that. I did. So again, again, family, I just want you to, if you're not going to become responsible gun owners, at least let your children teach them or make them aware of that whole piece. Okay. Trying to shield them from that is a mistake. Watch this, family. Watch this.
Males are not supposed to be pretty. Males, the boys, are supposed to be raised to protect. Okay? Boys are supposed to become men of war. We got too many soft males and men out here who forgot their purpose in the earth. We're supposed to be the protectors, providers, and give instructions. That's the purpose of a man. Protect, provide, give instructions. Say this again. Protect everything within his wingspan, under his tent, in his home, his businesses. He protects it. He provides for not just himself, for his family, for his wife, for his children, for those who work with him, around him. He gives instructions, not just to his wife and his children, but those who work with him and around him. This is what we do. I am not confused about the purpose of man. He ain't to be sitting up here talking all the time or looking pretty and chasing these girls, these females down. He's supposed to be on his purpose. Build. Okay? We got this thing mixed up with some of us. And look, I can put the blame right there at the foot of the church. I can put the blame right there at the foot of the church. Because in the black community, there's been two institutions, that we've always looked to. And they've both been compromised. The black church and the black woman. And you can see the ratchetness that's being pushed out here by the women, by the powers that be with the media. They flipped on the black woman. You see nothing but ratchetness. She used to be protected. Not no more by the system. They showing the raunchiest of the raunchiest of the raunchiest. And that used to be a sacred institution. And that black church used to be the place where we went to for guidance, but they've both been compromised. And I got scriptures to prove it, and the actions to speak louder than the words. They've both been compromised. Okay? I'm gonna have this discussion, and again, I'm willing to debate anybody who wants to debate me about this, because we need to have that conversation. Okay? All right. We were talking about mental institutions, and 30 days or more, you can't have no gun. If you have a protective order, if you have domestic going on and you have a protective order, you got to surrender your guns. Okay. That's in the state of Maryland, but that's nationwide too. You just can't handle domestics out there, and you in court, or you in a situation where you have ex parte protection clause course out there. You can't be having no guns, family. You have to surrender your guns. You can't own a gun when you in that type of transition. Okay. So I think I'm gonna stop right there. I think that Bishop done came in there and had me asking questions about God and guns, and which I appreciate, because again, if you're going to talk about God and guns, you better know about some God. And you better know about some weapons too. To have this conversation, you have to be sure to have this conversation. And I am sure, matter of fact, I am fully persuaded in my right mind that I'm doing God's will. That God's will, meaning, I'm doing God's will. Every man or woman must be fully persuaded in their mind they're doing the will of God. Look here, even if you are a destroyer, if you believe God called you to destroy, I need you to destroy. Like God called Judas to betray, Judas had to betray. We're all called to do different things, family. Everybody's not going to be a goody two shoes. Everybody's not going to be a lover, a peacemaker. There's some people who are called to do some devilish things. I'm good with that. Because when they cross a person who's born to put it down, you know, if there's a yin, there's a yang, there's a good, there's a bad. Okay? So, again, I need you to be serious about becoming responsible gun owners, gun users. Also, I need you to introduce it to your children. Your children need to know how to become responsible gun owners, gun users. And I said before, I'll say it again, these children need to start at the ripe age of 5 or 6 with little toy weapons. Yes, toy plastic guns, water guns, you name it. I need them to be introduced to that gun, get comfortable with it, because we have our brethren who founded this country start their children early with the little toy guns. Again, I am reintroducing to a people who already know these guns exist. I'm just reintroducing to you that you need to become responsible. There's nothing wrong with it. Forget what your preacher said, your pastor said, the bishop, the elders, the reverends. And look here, listen to me. I will debate any minister live about this. Bring your sword, bring your commentary, bring whatever you have. I will debate you about the importance of God and guns. That God is on board with the guns. That God is on board with the weapons. I'll debate you. Let's have a count. Or you can send your brother's student. Send your bishop to me. Send your elder. Send your deacon. Send your apostle. Send your prophet. Send your teacher, your evangelist. I don't care what nationality you are. Send them to Longwood Farms. And let's have this debate. Because for too long, the churches, the ministers have disarmed our community and left us as sitting ducks, waiting on somebody to do something that we can do ourselves. Let's have the debate. Dr. McIntyre, let's have the debate. If any minister come across this video and see all of it and you want to have the debate about the guns, let's have the debate. I'm up for it. I'm for all the smoke, all of it. Okay. We may not get nothing. We may not reach a resolution, but at least we're having a discussion. We need to have the discussion. Okay. And I'm up for all the smoke. Look, I didn't give my life to DC Police Department for 30 years, almost 30 years, and don't understand the importance of being able to protect yourself and your family. I didn't do that for 30 years. Just to put it up on a shelf and say, yeah, I did it. Nah, it's not enough. I need to train some folks, change their mind. I need them to be like the scripture says, be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We need some mind transformation going on about the importance of self-preservation. I need to reactivate your deactivated self-preservation switch. Reactivate your deactivated self-preservation switch. Who knows? I may be doing this for a long time because this didn't just happen overnight. Us not wanting to defend ourselves. This happened. This been it's like chipping at a mountain, chipping at a foundation, chip here, chip there. Before you know it, the whole thing comes down. Okay. So look, again, let me do some shout outs. See you again. I see Dr. Span's in the house. I see Pastor Wilkins in the house. I don't see everybody, but those I see. Pastor said, "This is a monopoly." That was a old comment that was earlier, but I understand. I should have put it up earlier, but I want to thank you guys for tuning in. You can be doing something else, but you're here. I want you to again share this video, whatever platform you see it on. I have yet to accept that Twitter is now X social. I'm still saying Twitter, but if you see me on the old Twitter, which is a new X social, I need you to share it. I need you to like it or dislike it. And I need you to send me a friend request. If you're on YouTube, I need you to subscribe, dislike it or like it. But this conversation is not going away. It's not going away. As long as I'm around, it's not going away. And hopefully I can, again, encourage you to continue to have this conversation. Because, again, once you become a responsible gun owner, gun user, I want to keep you abreast on the laws. Make sure that we're abiding within those laws. Come October 1st, a lot of information can be put out here about what we need to do. As far as you need some signs in your houses and let people know that you welcome guns on your property. It's just that serious. Gun owners will no longer be able to go to restaurants with their guns. And a lot of people are going to be trying to put their guns in a glove compartment or inside of a trunk, when they're in a restaurant eating, and then their car may get stolen. And if your car gets stolen, then they're gonna have a car and a gun. So you're gonna have to make a decision when you become after October 1st, and you're a certified wear and carry citizen. You're gonna have to make a decision whether or not to just leave your gun home when you go out to eat, because you don't want to have your gun in your car. And you in a restaurant eating, thinking if somebody done took my car. And you go out there, oh man, your car gone. Not just your car gone, the gun that was in the car is gone. And that's not properly storing your weapon. I mean, it's gonna be crazy out here, man. I don't want nobody to pick up no trick bag when you have to make a stolen auto report, and then you gotta say, yo, yeah, my gun was in the car. And it's like a whole nother conversation. Hold up, your gun was in the car? Yeah, I went to the restaurant. Yeah, I went to the liquor store. Yeah, I went to the daycare just to pick up my children, my son, and my daughter, and I come out and my car's gone. These are the laws that are going into effect on October 1st that's being challenged by the NRA. Okay? So I'm gonna leave it right there. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Be anywhere else, but you're here. And thank you for staying around, although we went through that little spell where I lost the frequency. I got a solid frequency, but again, I've noticed some malfunctions recently because I've been putting out a lot of gun information in. And again, these social media platforms do not like this, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep pressing, keep going. It's gonna get better before it gets worse. That's my word. It will get better before it gets worse. Okay. And for you and all those who's under the sound of my voice, again, I'm a God man, love God, unapologetic, and I love to pray. My prayer for you before I leave this broadcast is this: I want you to be healthy. I want you to be happy. I want you to find love. I want you to be prosperous. I want you to be successful. I want you wealthy. I want you to have all the resources that you desire. that you need for your next level. I want that for you. If nobody else don't want you to be happy, healthy, a lovable relationship, somebody who loves you for you. I ain't even say unconditional. I'm talking about just love you. Okay? I want you to have the resources. I want you to be prosperous. I want you to be successful. I want you wealthy. And I want you to have unlimited money. And I mean that unlimited wealth. A lot of us, we shun the wealth. We want the wealth. We want the money. But in the same breath, we talk about it. Like, I don't need that. We indifferent to the money. I don't want you to be indifferent. When I say indifferent, I'm saying this. Don't be going around saying it don't matter. It does matter. It does matter. Don't be going around saying, you know what, what's up, Bishop? Parents in the house? Man, I'm gonna have all these bishops. They're gonna be wolves soon, man. These bishops, man, I'm gonna have a wolf pack of bishops. We're gonna have to do get the council of bishop, the council of wolf pack bishops. Bishops up here. But like I was saying, you can't be indifferent to the money. What I mean is this: when you set a price for something, stick with your price. Don't say, nah, just give me what you got. That means you're being indifferent with the money. Stick with your price. Don't just give me what you got. No, give me my money. This is the price, and this is what I want. Or if this is your price, I'm gonna give it to you. Don't be indifferent with the money. As you chase, money will leave you when it's sensed that you are indifferent with the money. What the bishop say? Call bishop to the live. Yes, call the bishops. Bishop, I'm about to come to an end. I'm about to bring this to an end. But yeah, look here, man, we need to have a bishop. We need to have what they call it, a gathering, like the ecclesia. Oh, another bishop. My God, this is the Bishop Fabian Tucker, man, calling all bishops. We may have to have an ecclesia about the gun piece. I'm going to look here. I am willing to go to any conference, any convocation. As a matter of fact, there should not be no more convocations going forward if you don't have no gun piece in there for you, for your staff, and for members. And I mean that you cannot going forth in the 21st century and you're not talking about protecting when you done had a Dylan Roof that came inside the church and blew up some folks, blew up about 9 people, the Charleston 9 massacre, and they praying for him. He's sitting there for an hour and a half and shut up everybody in the church. Okay? Except for one person. So yes, and they look. Bishops, don't y'all be having no more convocations and you don't have somebody come in here and talk to you about what? De-escalating the situation, responsible gun ownership, and especially y'all picking these offerings up, you need somebody who know how to scope out what's going on, making sure you don't get robbed. Because some of y'all in these neighborhoods with some of these communities where you got to look both ways when you come out to church. And has some bright lights on. Okay? So moving forward, kingdom blessings, brothers. Kingdom blessings. So moving forward, family, we need you to reassess these conferences and these convocations, these ordinations. You need to have a gun piece in place for yourself, for your board, for your members. You don't want them out there, and you could have brought in somebody like myself to just teach them how to identify the parts of the gun, how to make the gun safe. If you see the gun and there's no police around and you call them, they ain't show up, well, you may be able to make that gun safe. If you come through the class, I'll teach you how to make that revolver safe. I'll teach you how to make that semi-automatic safe. Okay? That way, you know what? When your child finds these guns out there, we normally say, stop. Don't tell them to touch it. Call for a parent. Then call the police. When you call for the parent's gonna call the police. But if you are familiar, if you've gone through the course, the class, you know how to identify how to make that gun safe. Okay? So again, bishops, all my bishop designees, all my bishops, and all my archbishops, I need you to present this to the board of bishops and let them know we need to look into making sure that we can defend ourselves. Again, I'm gonna go back up here to this good old scripture that reminds me that even God Himself, look at, now you have a purse, take it, and also a bag. And if you don't have a sword, you need to pawn your jacket, the nice shoes you got, and get you one. Again, a sword back then would be a gun today. And I mean that. I mean that. With everything in me, I mean that. Again, brothers and sisters, we're going to come to an end. I thank you. There is a class on tomorrow morning. If you're still interested in becoming a responsible gun owner, gun user, 9 o'clock sharp from 9 to 5, we're going all gun. And then Saturday, it's going to be hands-on from 9 to 5, or maybe 9 to 6, 16 hours or 17 hours, maybe even 18 hours. But you're going to look at it, it's a lot of information. 2 tests, a written test and a shooting test. But you'll be good. We're gonna make sure you're good. You'll be a responsible gun owner and gun user, and you'll know when and when not to stop that threat. I promise you that. But it don't stop right there. It's continual education. You got to keep going to the range and practicing. Okay, so I'm here for you. I'm gonna hit you like I will not leave you nor forsake you. I'm here for, if I can't, I got some good gun guys out there who can help you and assist you. And I mean that. Okay. With that said, again, share this video, like it. I may come on tomorrow, depending on how I feel. On Friday, like I said, that's a long class, a lot of information. You spend a lot of energy trying to, get a lot of information in about the laws and what to do, what not to do. And so if I can't come on tomorrow, I will. If not, you may see me on Sunday for sure. Definitely gonna see me on Sunday. But I thank you for tuning in. It is my honor to be able to serve you and talk to you and share. Again, share this video, like it, dislike it. And if you want to, you can send some cash to the Cash App. If you learned something tonight, don't be afraid to share. Sharing is caring, and you can make a donation or donation. Okay? It all goes to what? This thing is not cheap. Ammo, targets, silhouettes. Oh, this is not cheap. The money don't come out the sky. It doesn't. It doesn't. In my vision, I want to see a long facility in every state, indoor, outdoor range. Yeah. It's happening. How it's going to happen. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. The evidence not yet seen. It's happening. We don't even say it's going to no more. It's happening. Resources have been released. Now, just wait for the right context to come, and when it happens, with that said, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all. With that said, always remember what I say. Always remember, it is not how much you know, family. It's how much you care. Got a lot of folks that know a lot, but they don't care. And there is a lone wolf in you. And why I say lone wolf? Because a lone wolf can survive without the pack. If he gets lost, he still can hunt. He's stronger with the pack, but he can survive without the pack. There is a lone wolf in you, and it's my duty to bring that wolf out of you and remove that fear and replace it with some confidence. So you'll be able to do what you need to do, go where you want to go, and be all that you need or you want to be. You will do it. I send you confidence. I send you confidence. And I thank you for tuning in. Again, I'll see you. Enjoy yourselves. And we will talk soon.